Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are kicking off a diplomatic play against Nicaragua, but I don't think that's going to take too much effort on our part. I'm going to take a quick pass. We do have the ability to increase our fertilizer methods, so let's go ahead and do all of that. And that will mean that we'll take our fertilizer plants and increase their production methods as well. And we'll see where that puts us. Alright, we are no longer really producing any meaningful... we are no longer needing any meaningful man of war's output. So I think, as the United States, I can officially shift our military shipyards to all be producing steamships. Even the ones in Louisiana. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Well, it is what it is. Civilian shipyards look like they're doing as well as can be expected as well. Alright. So, I was going to look into infrastructure. That's what I was going to do. Alright, so where are we short on infrastructure? Let me see, Zulia. Clearly. We'll build up 2 there. Liberia. Mato Grosso. DC and Delaware. Missouri. That's interesting. Yoruba states. In Oyo. Very good. Build up 2 there. Accra, which we hold only part of. Accra, which is unincorporated. Alright, well that is what it is. Antofagasta, Peru, Bolivia, and Pastaza. A little short in a lot of Peru, Bolivia. Cauca, Benin. This is probably not great footage here, but, you know, it's necessary. Something's going on in Senegal. Let me see. A Senegalese religious revolt. That's a shame. I would love to steal Volta from you, but... Can I get war goals? No, I can't. That is sad. So they did get this part of Senegal back, which is surprising to me. Can't get a protectorate in Bhutan, so I'm not going to worry about that. What about over here? This is Banjar. That's not going to worry me one bit. Alright, so that was Sea Lane strategies popping. Nicaragua backs down. Excellent. That's perfect. So Honduras is next. That's going to be 4.5 infamy. I'll be able to tolerate that pretty shortly. So for the moment, let's get working on those ships. Because I've just developed the ability to produce scout cruisers, and they're much, much better than monitors. As you can see, monitors are 20 offense, 30 defense, 20% convoy escort defense, 8 morale loss. Scout cruisers are 50-50 with 6 morale loss and 50% extra convoy defense. So that'll be just fine. Can't upgrade them directly, so we're going to need 60 levels of scout cruisers in a second. Empty pockets. A series of perceived poor decisions by the movement to enact protected speech has led to a notable decrease in its ability to raise money. Numerous wealthy sympathizers have quietly halted their support for the movement in its current form. We don't wish to appear partisan. Always the same refrain. The organizer paced back and forth within his tiny office, fist clenched until it felt as if his knuckles were about to burst through his skin. Occasionally he stole a glance at the unopened envelopes on his desk, all of which he knew would repeat a variation on the same theme. Partisan. What did that mean? That they cared for something? That they'd chosen to do something beyond count the money in their vaults? He had something important to do, something which would improve society itself. They had a chance to do the same. In that light, how could partisanship possibly be bad? Perhaps it will find an alternative source of funds? The extra loyalists in DC, weaker movement. In the end, everything dies, some faster than others. I'm going to go much weaker movement. I'm going to go with the second one. Because I think a taxation reform one might be better at this point. American-British Fellowship offers opportunity. The American-British Fellowship has offered us an opportunity to establish a foreign investment rights agreement with Great Britain. The lobby has offered to use their connections to smooth the negotiating process. The negotiations done into the table with a representative of the British government have been long and arduous. The British representatives knew they were dealing with a group without power to match theirs, and they had adjusted their strategy accordingly. Nevertheless, they'd come to an agreement. Nothing in writing, but that was hardly important. When the government sent the official copy, if they did, they would find that there was already a drafted response waiting in London. We'd be happy to pursue this, or this is not in our interests. I'm going to do the second one. I don't want Britain investing in me. I don't desire British investment at this time. So, let's go ahead and build some scout cruisers. We can't do that because we don't have radios. Okay, that is something I had not anticipated, but that's okay. So we're working on our production tech even as we speak. Radios are a really important one for continuing on in warfare, so let's go ahead and queue that straight up. That's something I'd completely forgotten. I knew that battleships required them. I wasn't sure if dreadnoughts did, but I'd forgotten that scout cruisers did. With that said, we can increase our production methods. Colonization of Eastern New Guinea is complete. That's excellent. I'm going to work on that in a moment. We can improve our naval production method to naval bases, to sea lane strategies. Alright, so Eastern New Guinea. Population here is primarily Melanesian. Okay, so these are also places we're not going to incorporate. I could work on consolidating American Western New Guinea, but I'm not going to worry about that right now immediately. I'm at 20.3 infamy. Reducing Honduran autonomy will cost 4.5 of that. So let's go ahead and give it a little bit longer, again, just to make sure we don't run into a bit of a kerfuffle, and then I'll get started. 20.2, 20.1. Alright, that should be enough. 40% chance they say yes. They've said no, but that's completely fine. Let's go ahead and send in the armed forces. Danish mass immigration. Excellent. And is there still a Denmark? Oh, there is. This is not a game in which Denmark was simply consumed. Prussia is still trying to get all of Germany united under its banner, but that's fine. Oh my gosh, Greece is large. Oh, they're a dominion of Russia. That's very interesting, as is the Neged. Neat. Kazembe diplomatic play. I need to establish an army of Central Africa. I think that's going to be part of policy here. I can... This area is still not even kind of sort of fully colonized, which is interesting. I could reduce Oyo's autonomy, and I think I will. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think that's right. Peru, Bolivia, likely to try and increase autonomy. Well, Peru, Bolivia, I can fight you. That said, their liberty desire is going down by 0.16. So I'm not worried about it. Same with New Grenada. I can live with that. If they try something, I can live with that. Let's go ahead and build an army of Central Africa, though, because that's something I would like to have. We'll name you Army of Central Africa. Your commanders, let's see. You're cautious and a supply requisition expert. And I think we only need one leader as of now. Just go with a small force. 5 units of trench infantry in our occupied areas for the moment. Great Britain colonizing South Angola over here. New Grenada is requesting greater autonomy. I must decline. That was not as smart of me as I could have been in that situation, I have to admit. Because now they're slightly higher, but they'll continue to decrease in autonomy, I feel. They're currently at cordial, so I can increase relations without too much of a problem. Peru Bolivia is amicable, so if they do the same, I can do the same right back, which will be just fine. Let me see, I got plenty of stuff in the construction queue. Finances seem to have gotten significantly worse. I wonder if there's a some sort of reduction in the amount of... Oh, you know what that is? That's Great Britain's... Great Britain was bankrolling me and they're not anymore. That's what happened. I always need to remember when I'm in a situation where I'm being bankrolled by a major power. Okay, Senegal, hi. You and I still have a truce? I think we might still have a truce. Yeah, another 29 months. Alright. That's okay, Senegal. I'm coming for that Volta. Coming for Senegal as well. Frankly. Maybe if I gank Futuro and these states, that'll make that easier. I think I'm going to do that. There's the war with Honduras. Not super concerned with that. Where's we colonize East Angola? I wonder if this means that Britain has discovered... no, they clearly haven't discovered malaria prevention, because they would have much faster expansion if they had. War of Kazembe. Right. Honduran autonomy has been reduced. New Grenada... So Peru Bolivia has fallen down to middle autonomy. That was a careless mistake on my part, but I think it was still the right call to continue to reduce Oyo's autonomy, because now I can reduce subject payments. Again, it's like I don't need the cash, so I can just take free autonomy, basically. Let's go ahead and also offer them knowledge sharing. And that'll help get things going. Again, goal long-term is to annex, but, you know, we'll see how things are going from here. Now, Benin is also a dominion. But again, I need to be careful, because I'm letting Peru, Bolivia, and New Grenada's liberty desire get really, really high. There's colonization rights in Kazembe. That's wonderful. Infamy is down to 21.8. So that should mean I can be able to get up to all sorts of chicanery and shenanigans. Colonization of Sahara is complete. I don't know what was going on in Sulu, but it's done now. Alright. Colonization is proceeding apace. Oh, that's how Britain was able to get in there, because we're colonizing in from the north. Alright, well that's fine. Do a promotion. The Intelligentsia demand the promotion of Brigadier General Christian Fields, touting his history of loyal and effective service. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Foster's face when the lieutenant general learned of his imminent ascension. Their rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last he would have his due. This guy's a Democrat, he's a firebrand, he's got kidney stones. You know what? He's earned it. The Contagious Diseases Act. Oh, this again. The armed forces in Virginia, led by James Longstreet, are demanding a solution to high rates of venereal disease among their men. They request the enforcement of laws that allow police to detain women suspected of being prostitutes and locked hospitals on the grounds that they spread venereal disease. These fallen women are an affront to moral propriety. They must be contained and treated, lest they spread their sinful diseases across the nation. If we enact it, this reduces SOL for the lower strata for all of Virginia for 20 years. Or we can say these laws are inhumane and piss off the armed forces. You know I'm going to do the second one because that's what I always do when I hit this event. -2 SOL for the lower strata is really, really rough. Like, I kind of can't imagine a situation in which that would be the right call, to be completely honest. I wonder if there's like a subsequent event that you can get happen to you if you do it, but for the moment, I can't see a use case for that particular set of laws. Paulista mass immigration from Brazil. Oh, interesting. Brazil never got its consolidating culture event. That's pretty interesting. Because I know it has an event chain where it can consolidate a bunch of different cultures into Brazilian, and I think that's one of them. So let's see. Let's take a look at some of our expansion options in South America here. Ecuador is in 2 states here. We could turn them into a protectorate, but again, we've sort of... Well, that might actually be the only way we're going to get a hold of Ecuador, because that's kind of how things go. Paraguay is also in 2 states. If we steal just Mato Grosso, they might actually just go ahead and let us do it, which would be nice. If we also stole Bajo Paraguay, it would be 15.3 infamy. So I can't see myself doing that at any point soon. But we do own Mato Grosso, or our subject, Peru Bolivia, owns Mato Grosso. So that would be effective. I think Chile and Argentina I definitely want to make protectorates, but I don't want to do that until I've fully annexed Peru, Bolivia, and at least New Grenada, and maybe some of the rest of Central America as well. So I think we're waiting on that for now. As you can see, Venezuelan Liberty Desire is still increasing at a rapid rate, so I'm feeling pretty good about that whole situation. I also have expansion opportunities in Africa, which I do want to eventually get on with. I could get the rest of Timbuktu from Messina. That would be fine. 3.8 infamy. Not a great chance they'd say yes, but not that big of a deal. How are relations... Well, first of all, arming the natives. We've discovered that our rivals in Spain have been arming the Lega natives in American Congo Oriental. This is likely to impede our efforts to conquer the region. The Lega natives have never truly welcomed our presence, but without the means to mount a truly effective resistance, we've paid little heed to their obligations. The addition of Spanish munitions into the equation comes with the frightening possibility that we must face them on equal terms. We should de-escalate the situation, reduces colonial growth generation, but improves relations. Or if they want to fight, they'll get one. I'm going to say if they want to fight, they'll get one. I don't really see... how Spain can really get involved in that, so I don't see how I should concern myself at all with whatever Spain's got going on. So we've got access to Wadai from the south now, and this is going to also offer us additional expansion opportunities in Africa. Don't even tell me about the states that have low standard of living. I could reduce the autonomy of Benin, but again, I don't want to. I want to make sure Peru, Bolivia, and New Grenada don't stay high, because if they stay high, that's going to be a problem from a long-term perspective. I think. See, with New Grenada at high autonomy already, I can't currently risk going above Infamy 25, so I'm a little bit, I'm going to be a little conscientious here. That said, I could grab Gobir. And I think I'm going to do that. I've already got, let me see, the state of Gobir consists of just the eastern part of Outer Hausaland. Outer Hausaland is already an American state, so I think we'll just go ahead and grab the country. Let me see, not many people likely to step in, again, except for Spain. If Spain steps in, then so be it. They've refused, which is extremely reasonable given what the demand is. Go ahead and throw Both of these armies need to deal with that situation. But I don't think... Let me see. First Gobir army consists entirely of skirmish infantry. We've got trench, so I'm not worried that we're going to need more than that. If Spain steps in, then Spain will step in. But I don't think they will. And if they do, then it is what it is. I will just have to invade Spain. Great Britain took the Solomon Islands from Australia. Those islands were Solomon. How could you do this? Relations with our other African puppet states are still good. Spain remains unbothered by the situation, which is fine. Peru, Bolivia is still going down in autonomy desire and liberty desire. Do the same thing for New Grenada. Very good. We've got a huge pile of bureaucracy available at this point. So let's go ahead and take a look at some institutions. I do want to increase workplace safety up to... and Social Security up to level 2. I think that's the most sensible way to go about things here. That's going to cost us 850 autonomy. We can tolerate some increases, but I don't want to get too far ahead here, because I am currently relying on the petite bourgeoisie's bureaucracy increase ability to make this happen. So I'm gonna just let things go, and we'll go after Gobir here. Having access to attack Bagmiri is also useful. I could grab East Hausaland. Oh, Outer Hausaland continues into Borneo. Oh, that's really interesting. Well, that's good. I would love to consolidate the great state of Outer Hausaland fully under American control. That would be very good for me as a whole. So, what is any additional colonization options? There's a colonization option in Zululand. Oh, interesting. This is a this area is not part of is part of a decentralized state. That's neat. So there's the war against Gobir kicking off. First comparison here looks rock solid, so I'm not super worried. I'm not. In fact, I would venture so far as to say that I'm not worried at all. We are winning despite them actually having higher defense than us. Which is a little bit of a surprise, but, you know, it is what it is. What is Borneo's military situation? They have 13 battalions. Do either of these armies have conscripts? The Army of West Africa has conscripts. So, if I mobilize them, I'll be able to take Borneo Outer Hausaland reasonably without having too much of an issue over here. So I think that's the plan once we've got Gobir fully conquered. And there's vacuum canning. Beautiful. So this is actually really, really going to help with our... Oh, I can make the financial districts publicly traded. I reduce the number of shopkeepers. That's why. That's why the petite bourgeoisie are so strong. We're doing it. I don't care what that pop-up said. I'm not listening to it at all. We've accomplished public trading. Mutually beneficial. Now that we have more publicly traded companies, we should now focus on what comes next. I don't see the problem. What's wrong with more money? Are you telling me if they offer you more, you would say no? It's not about getting more money, it's about who is getting more money. The rich get richer, it would appear. This might affect our politics, stronger trade unions, stronger industrialists, or maybe we can use this elsewhere. 6K progress towards international exchange standards. That's hugely, hugely tempting, ridiculously so, in fact. But, I'm going to go with stronger industrialists and trade unions because I feel like the next election is going to really, really change things with the reduction in shopkeepers. We'll see if President Europe's coalition can hold the government. And we'll see if this changes the behavior of the petite bourgeoisie with respect to the rest of the Republican Party. Because if it does, things could be very interesting. Alright, there's Outer Hausaland conquered. Obviously there's some turmoil here now, and a significant infrastructure shortage. So we've already got 2 railways queued in, but they're more urgent now than ever. So I'm going to go ahead and grab them. Where are they? Here we go. I'm going to throw those in at the top. And how much is it going to be to take Outer Hausaland from Borneo? 3.4 infamy. We're at 21.8. So we do need to wait a little longer. We'll see what the chances look like as well. This is a peasant revolt going on in Jambi in Indonesia. I don't need to worry myself about that. That is not my business. Oh my goodness. An aristocratic revolt in Austria. Do I have a bunch of interests to spare? I could spare more interests. I'm going to declare interests in some new areas. Because I want to involve myself in more international politics. And so far I haven't been doing much of that. I sure hope my old interests don't fall off, because that will occasionally happen. So we'll just kind of watch what happens in Austria, because I don't have any ability to get involved over there. Alright, down to 21.2. I don't think this is going to cause me to go over 25. 10% chance they say yes. Let's do it. They've said no. That's completely okay with me. We will raise the conscripts of the Army of West Africa. 8th American Army is going to go to the Army of West Africa. And the Army of Central America we're going to mobilize as well. I'm not going to bring up the conscripts for the Army of Central America, but I am going to assign them. So, I think we just want, like, just like 10 levels of trench infantry. Should be enough. Maybe 15. Yeah, we'll go with 15 since I've clearly already built up that much. And then we'll go with 10 of artillery. 5 there, 3 here. 2, and then that's 10. Lovely. Alright, soundtrack. Let's get going here. The song's called Handle This! Oh my gosh. That is precious. Alright, that is extremely precious. Stop! Wait! Wait! The game's paused! You can't go over there! Wait! Oh, he's gone. It's gone! In the words of American philosopher the Joker, it's gone. Alright. Situation is looking okay with Borneo. The other side of the fence. People have started complaining about the difference in living standards between us and our neighbors in the Indian territory. After the shop swung shut, they exchanged a meaningful glance. She didn't even notice you gave her the wrong change. Why do you think I do it? Her sort, they can afford it. I'll be damned if if the Indians think they can come here and flaunt their wealth, expecting us to just tolerate it. This is simply an example of global inequality, stronger trade unions. Clearly, they're liars who cheat foreigners out of our money, reduced relations, or it's the way things are, not worth thinking about, more radicals in Texas. I'm going to say stronger trade unions. You know I like stronger trade unions. So, is the standard of living in the Indian Territory really high? It is. You know what? Good for them. Heck yes. I consider that a success of American policy. I really do. Absolutely. That's wonderful. I'm glad I reestablished the Indian Territory. They're really making good stuff happen over there in Oklahoma, and I for one support it. That said, we are getting to the end of the episode. We've done quite a bit of work here. We're continuing to consolidate American Outer Hausaland. And we're planning future moves of expansion. New Grenada is finally back down to middle Liberty Desire. Peru, Bolivia is continuing to decrease. Venezuela is still in the middle, but we'll try to get them down as low as we can. But that's all we got today. For now, friends, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.